with all of who we are, worship him. So the first is Genesis chapter 1. Genesis chapter 1, God creates the world in 6 days. Okay? Day 1, he creates the light. Day 2, he separates the land from the sea. Day 3, he makes the vegetation. Day 4, he sets the sun and the stars and the moon in the sky. Day 5, he makes the creatures in the water and the air. And day 6, he puts the creatures on land, including making humans. Okay? What's my point in recapturing that? God did miraculous things to create everything that is physical. God did miraculous things to create everything that's physical. So what does that mean? God cares about the physical. He doesn't just care about the spiritual. Plato thought that. Plato, who was a Greek philosopher, thought that it was, hold on a second, Jose. Plato was the one who thought everything spiritual is good, everything on the earth is bad. But that's not how God thinks about what he created. Everything he created is good, and he wants us to use what we have that's in the physical to help. What were you going to say? And then he rested on the seventh day. Yes. Yep. Okay? So let's take a look at when he creates humans. It says, then God, this is from Genesis chapter 2, or maybe 1. It's from Genesis chapter 1. Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds of the sky, over the livestock and all the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves on the ground. So I want you to see a few things about humanity that point to this idea that God wants us to worship him with all of who we are, okay? Mankind was made in the image of God, right? That means in some way we are God-like, okay? We're made in his image. We are God-like. And so what is God? He's a creator of the physical realm. So if God is a creator of the physical realm that he thinks is very good, and we are God-like, then we ought to care and be involved in the physical realm and the things of eating and sleeping and nurturing the land and nurturing the animals and all of those kinds of things, right? Specifically, one of the tasks for humanity was to rule over all living beings. So we have a responsibility for the birds of the air, the fish of the sea, and the creatures on the land. They're our responsibility, okay? As is the vegetation, because God put him, in the later chapter it says God put man in the garden to tend the garden. And so the physical is how God wants us to respond to him, by taking care of the physical things of the world and rule over them with an emphasis on caring for